Today's video we're going to show how we built this tractor for our rabbits. You can see Comet enjoying the day in there today. This tractor's 5 foot long by 2 feet wide. Got a vinyl roof on it. There's a look at Comet down in there. Got this jack chain on the sides that holds the roof from falling over. Just some basic handles on the side. And that's what we're going to build today. So as I said, this tractor is going to be 5 feet long by 2 feet wide. And since I'm using 2x2s, which are actually 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches, I had to cut these cross pieces down to 21 inches. Then you add in the 1.5 inches and the 1.5 inches, and that gives us the 24 inches, or the 2 feet wide for the tractor. Now I did put a 2x4 across the center of the roof here to give the roof panel just a little bit more weight. I also have the base already built up with the 2x2s as well. These 21-inch pieces here are going to be the supports from the base up to the top panel that'll be just below the roof. We're going to use our Craig jig to put some hidden holes in these and screw them into the base and then screw them into the top panel. And these 5-foot pieces over here are going to be eventually what becomes the top panel of our tractor. So we've got our Craig drill all set up now to put these pocket holes in for these support beams, or these support braces. If you've not used one of these Craig jigs or a Craig drill, you really need to invest in one of these. This is probably one of the neatest little tools I've used. So on this 2x2, what we're going to do here for the drill, this is going to be set at 1.25 inches. And again, if you happen to get one of these Craig jigs, in the instruction manual, it'll tell you just exactly where you need to have your drill bit set up and where your clamp needs to be set up. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and drill these pocket holes in these braces and we'll get on with the assembly. So we've got all of our pocket holes drilled now and all the supports. So I'm going to go ahead and attach 4 supports, 1 to each corner. And after we get the top attached to the supports, we'll go ahead and put a center support in. You can see I've marked a line here halfway across the 5-foot length of the tractor. Once we get the top put on, we'll go ahead and put these middle supports on. And there we go. Now we have the bones of our tractor all put together. Got our cross braces in the center there to give it a little bit more stability. We've got the roof panel all done. Next step is going to be putting the fencing around the sides. So let's take care of that. So the wire that I'm going to use for this tractor is this yard guard. It's 24 inches wide or 2 feet wide by 25 feet long. I like using this 1x1, first of all, because it keeps the math a little simpler. I'm doing a 5 foot long by 2 foot wide tractor, so I know for my length-wise pieces of fence, I need to cut 60 inches or 60 squares. And then for my width, it'll be 2 feet, so 24 squares. And number two, this 1x1 is plenty small enough that other critters aren't going to get into the rabbits or be able to get at the rabbits when they're sitting outside in the tractor. So we're going to go ahead and lay this out, cut some 60-inch lengths for the length of the tractor, and then some 2 feet or 24-inch lengths for the ends. So there we've got our 5 foot piece of fence. It's kind of rolled up there now, obviously, from still taking the shape of the roll that it was on, but there is 60 inches of it there. We're going to go ahead and flip the tractor over on its side, and we'll put one of these 60-inch pieces down the front side, and one down the back side, and then we'll do the ends. In order to staple it on, I'm going to use these 5/16-inch staples here with the staple gun. Seem to work pretty well on the hutch, so that's what we'll use to attach the fence to the tractor. And there's our tractor with all the fencing on across the front and the back, and then across the ends as well. I also went ahead and put the roof panel on here just for fit up to see how everything lines up, and it looks pretty good. Not perfectly square, but it's pretty close. Our next objective is going to be putting the piece of vinyl roofing across the top here that will just screw into the top 3 supports here. We're going to cut it just a little bit longer than 5 feet. I'm going to hang it over about 1.5 inches on each side, and about 1.5 inches on the front and the back, just so that if it does rain when the rabbits are out in the tractor, it will not drip down into the top of the tractor. So we'll go ahead and get started on that. So we're back on this tractor project today. It's been about a week since I was out here working on this thing. Before we put the roof on, we're going to go ahead and put the hinges on for the roof, and then the handles on the side, and then the catch on the front. For the hinges, we're going to use these 2.5-inch hinges here. They're non-removable pin hinges. That's what we're going to use to attach the roof to the tractor. So let's get started on that. Alright, now we've got our pin hinges on. There's one there and one over here. We'll come around here and test it for a nice smooth opening, which it does. All looks good. And we're going to go ahead and put our handles on the ends here. For our handles, we're going to use these general purpose utility handles. I was going to bolt these through the side of the tractor with some 2.5-inch bolts and let them come out the other side, but with the screws that come with these handles, I think we'll be just fine. The tractor's not that heavy, so the screws that come with these, I think they're 1.5-inch screws maybe, they'll be just fine for holding this handle to the tractor. Alright, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to take this jack chain and we're going to use this to restrain our roof panel from the base of the tractor. So we're going to take that, we're going to screw it into the side here. If I screw it onto the top, obviously the roof isn't going to close all the way. We're going to take a 14-inch length of this jack chain and screw it to the side of the tractor on this side and then attach it to the roof up here. We're also going to do it on the other side just so I have two restraints on it. So just a couple steps left here before we complete this tractor. Now we're going to put on this 1 3/4 latch that'll allow us to latch the roof of the tractor down to the base. So we'll go ahead and get that put on. Alright, so our last order of business is going to be putting the vinyl roof on this tractor. This is an 8-foot by just over 2-foot wide piece of vinyl roofing that I just picked up at the big box store. We're going to cut this down to 62 inches. The tractor is 60 inches or 5 feet long. I'm going to let it hang over about 1 inch on either side. This roofing material cuts pretty easily. We're going to use these shears to take care of that. And there we go. Now we've got our roof on. It overhangs each side about an inch, as you can see, and then off the front and the back about an inch as well. That way when it's nice and sunny outside, we can take the rabbits outside and they'll have a roof over their heads anyway. We'll go ahead and open this tractor up so you can get one more look at the finished project. There's our latch on the front, our handles on the side, and the jack chain installed on the outside of the tractor so that when the tractor roof closes, the chain does not bind up here on this surface. I think it turned out pretty well. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to keep following along on our journey with our rabbits. And down in the comments, if you would have done something different while building this tractor, let me know how you would have done this. This is obviously just the way that I've done it, but there are several different ways to accomplish this. Again, appreciate you following along, and we'll see you on the next one.